Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. The flickering streetlights barely lit the path as I pulled into the driveway, the sound of my suitcase wheels grinding against the concrete, a sharp reminder that this work trip had lasted far longer than intended. The weariness from delayed flights and endless meetings weighed heavily on me, but the thought of finally being home, in the warmth of my own bed and the comfort of my wife's embrace, sparked a small fire of relief in my chest. I fished the keys from my pocket, the familiar jingle sounding louder in the quiet night. The house loomed silent and dark as I approached the front door. Something was off. I paused, noticing a pair of shoes by the mat, shoes I didn't recognize. A knot formed in my stomach, but I pushed the door open, convincing myself there could be 1,000 harmless explanations. The silence of the house was oppressive, as if it too was holding its breath. Dropping my suitcase by the door, I called out her name, Lana. No answer. My heart rate picked up as I spotted another anomaly, a man's coat draped over the chair. It wasn't mine. With each step towards our bedroom, the air grew thicker, my mind racing with possibilities I dared not consider. The sound of laughter trickled down the hallway, a sound so foreign yet eerily familiar. It stopped me dead in my tracks. The laughter wasn't hers alone, it was mingled with a deeper, masculine chuckle. Heart pounding in my ears, I pressed my hand against the cool wood of the bedroom door, pushing it open with a trembling force. The scene before me shattered the remnants of any denial I held. There, in the moonlit room where we had shared countless nights, was my wife, Lana, in the arms of another man. They were tangled in our sheets, lost in their illicit bliss, her laughter turning to a scream of surprise as she saw me standing there. The man scrambled, clutching the sheet to cover himself, but Lana, her face a mask of shock and guilt, just stared at me. Words failed me, the betrayal slicing through the shock like a cold, sharp blade. "How could you?" was all I managed to croak out, my voice a stranger to my own ears. "Liam, she began, her voice trembling, but I didn't stay to hear her excuses. I turned and left the room, the image of her betrayal burning behind my eyelids. The house no longer felt like home, it was just a shell as hollow and cold as the betrayal I felt. That night, I made a vow, not just to leave but to make sure she regretted this betrayal. My plans for revenge began to simmer in the back of my mind, each step calculated and cold. The shock of infidelity was immense, but the desire for retribution grew stronger. As the night stretched on, I sat in the darkness of the living room, planning every move. The divorce papers would be just the beginning. I would expose her lies, dismantle the life we built together, and ensure that this betrayal was not just a moment of regret but a lifelong lesson. She thought this fling was a simple mistake, but I was about to teach her the cost of betrayal. As the sun rose, casting light on the broken pieces of our life together, I was already gone, the house behind me as silent as the ruins of our marriage. The cold morning air bites at my skin as I walk away from what used to be the sanctuary of our marriage. The sun is just beginning to peek over the horizon, casting a soft glow that belies the turmoil inside me. My mind races with the images of betrayal, each replay sharper and more painful than the last. But beneath the hurt, a firm resolve begins to take shape. I make my way to a nearby cafe, a place where Lana and I would often start our weekends with a quiet breakfast. Today, it serves a different purpose, a quiet corner to strategize her downfall. As I sit with a strong black coffee, ignoring its bitter taste, I pull out my laptop and begin documenting everything. Each word typed is a step towards retribution, a detailed list of her indiscretions, our shared assets, and every lie that tumbled from her lips. I'm so engrossed in my work that I barely notice the waitress approach with a refill. "Rough night?" she asks, her eyes sympathetic. I manage a tight-lipped smile, nodding slightly. "You could say that," I reply, my voice hollow. "Anything I can do to help?" Her kindness is a balm, but this path I've chosen is one I must walk alone. "Just the coffee, thanks," I say, turning back to my screen. Once the waitress leaves, I draft an email to my lawyer, attaching every piece of evidence that could support my case for divorce. The email is concise, every sentence sharpened with the clarity of betrayal. I hit send, the click of the button echoing like a gunshot in the quiet morning. My next step is more personal, exposing her affair to those who thought they knew her best. I draft another set of messages, this time to her family and closest friends. With each contact added, my resolve hardens. They need to see Lana through the lens of her actions, not her excuses. Before I can second-guess my decision, I send the messages. The digital whispers of her betrayal now wing their way to every corner of her world. As the responses start to flood in, shock, disbelief, anger, I shut my laptop. The first phase of my plan is in motion, and there's no turning back. I spend the rest of the day in a daze, my actions fueled by a toxic mix of adrenaline and despair. I move out of our home, taking only what I need. Each item I pack is a memory, and with each memory, I feel a piece of my heart harden. The physical separation is necessary, a vital cut to begin the process of healing. By evening, I find myself at the door of a private investigator. I need concrete proof of her infidelity, something irrefutable to bring to court. The PI, a grizzled man with sharp eyes, listens intently as I explain my situation. He nods, understanding the assignment without judgment. "We'll get you everything you need," he assures me, his voice steady. "Photos, videos, whatever it takes." I nod, the finality of this step cementing my resolve. As I step out of his office, my phone buzzes. It's a message from Lana, full of pleas and apologies. But the woman I loved is a stranger now, her words nothing more than the echo of lies. I type a simple response, "Save your words for someone who believes them." I hit send, turning off my phone. Tonight, there will be no more interruptions. Tonight, I start anew, with the cold comfort of revenge as my guide. The plot of retribution thickens, and with each step, I shed a bit of the past, focusing solely on the justice that awaits at the dawn of this bitter journey. The city's heartbeat pulses through the streets as I stride with purpose, the once familiar routes now pathways to my calculated revenge. The air feels different today, charged with the promise of impending justice. My phone remains off, its silence a necessary reprieve from the chaos of betrayed emotions and the incessant pleading of Lana's texts. I enter the cafe where Lana and I first met, the irony of the location not lost on me. This is where it began, and now, it serves as the staging ground for the next phase of my plan. I choose a secluded table at the back, where the murmurs of other patrons blend into a distant hum. Moments later, I'm joined by a figure shrouded in discretion, Ray, a friend and once a confidant of both Lana and me. "Thanks for meeting me," I say, extending my hand. He takes it, his grip firm, his eyes wary. "I heard about what happened," Ray starts, his voice low. "I can't believe she'd do that to you, man." "Believe it. And I need your help," I reply, cutting straight to the point. My laptop is open, revealing a detailed dossier on Lana's financial affairs, accounts unknown to me before, now laid bare through meticulous investigation. Ray scans the documents, his eyebrows knitting together as he reads. "You want to go after her financially?" he asks, a note of surprise coloring his tone. "Not just financially. I want everything laid out, everything she's hidden from me. And I need proof." He nods slowly, understanding the depth of my resolve. "What do you need from me?" "Information. Whatever you can get about her recent activities, who she's been with." "I know people talk to you, Ray." He pauses, weighing the consequences, then leans in, his decision made. "Okay, I'm in. But be careful, Liam. This kind of thing can spiral out of control fast." "I'm beyond caring about control," I reply, the edge in my voice sharper than intended. As Ray departs, promising to deliver what I need, I sink deeper into my chair, the weight of my actions both a burden and a catalyst. My next visit is to the bank, where I meet with the manager under the pretense of discussing my accounts. Instead, I lay the groundwork for severing our joint assets, ensuring Lana's financial maneuvers are as trapped as she made me feel. "Mr. Thompson, I understand your situation, but are you sure about this?" the manager asks, her face a mask of professional concern. "Completely sure," I affirm without hesitation. "The documents I provide are irrefutable, the signatures on the divorce papers clear. As I leave the bank, a piece of my old life is secured against her reach, another victory in my silent war." The day fades into evening, and I find myself outside the gym Lana frequents, an unlikely place for my next confrontation but a necessary one. Inside, I spot her emerging from a class, laughter spilling from her lips, untouched by the gravity of our shared ruin. "Lana!" I call out, my voice calm but carrying across the room. She turns, her smile faltering into confusion, then dread. "Liam, what are you? We need to talk. Now." My tone brooks no argument, and reluctantly, she follows me to a corner, away from prying eyes. "Why are you doing this?" she whispers, her facade of composure cracking. "You know why. You could have ended it before it got to this point. But you chose not to," I reply, my words deliberate, each one a reminder of her betrayal. The conversation is brief, her excuses and pleas washing over me, leaving no mark. I leave her there, amidst the weights and the treadmills, her sobs a faint echo behind me. As I step into the cooling night, my phone vibrates with a message from Ray. He's come through, a list of names, places, all threads leading back to Lana's deceit. The storm is gathering, each piece of information another bolt ready to strike. My retribution is set, the network of her lies unraveling rapidly. As I look towards the city skyline, its lights blinking back at me, I feel the first true sense of power since the night I walked into our betrayal. The game is set, the players aligned, and I am ready to make my next move. The city sleeps under a shroud of mist, an eerie calm that mirrors the deceptive peace before a storm. My steps are silent against the wet pavement as I make my way to the final confrontation. Every piece of damning evidence is securely stored in my briefcase, each document meticulously gathered to end this charade once and for all. Tonight, the world will see Lana for who she truly is. The gallery event downtown, where she's presenting her latest art collection, is the perfect stage for my revelation. Dressed in a sharp suit that masks the cold fury within, I push through the polished glass doors into the humming crowd of the city's elite. Lana is there, radiant, basking in the admiration of her admirers, unaware that her world is about to crumble. Liam, her surprise is genuine, tinged with a nervous edge as she spots me weaving through the crowd towards her. "Lana," I greet her with a nod, my voice steady, my eyes locked onto hers. "A wonderful event. It'd be a shame if something were to ruin it." Her smile falters, sensing the venom beneath my courteous facade. "What do you want?" "Justice," I say simply, pulling out the projector remote from my pocket. Before she can react, I click the button, and the lights dim. A hush falls over the crowd as the first image flashes onto the screen behind us, an image not of her artwork, but of her and her lover in a candid embrace. Gasps and murmurs ripple through the crowd as more images follow, each one a strike to the facade of her perfect life. Lana tries to speak, to explain, but her words are drowned out by the collective shock of her peers. "Why are you doing this?" she hisses at me, her face pale, her composure shattered. "You know why," I reply coldly. "You should have thought about the consequences before you betrayed me." As the final image flickers on the screen, I turn to address the crowd, my voice amplified by the microphone that was meant for her speech. "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending tonight. What you've witnessed is the true nature of Lana Graves, not just an artist, but a deceiver. Lana's attempts to interrupt are futile, the evidence is too damning, her social and professional reputation unravels before our eyes. The crowd support turns to disdain, their backs turning on her one by one. But I'm not done yet. My next target is her lover, who's been hiding in the shadows, a spectator to her downfall. I find him by the exit, his attempt to flee cut short by my arrival. Going somewhere? I confront him, blocking his path. He stammers, fear evident in his eyes. I didn't mean for any of this to. You've made your bed, I cut him off, handing him an envelope. Consider that your severance. Disappear, or the next show will be yours. With the crowd dispersing in whispers and Lana sobbing quietly amidst the ruins of her showcase, I take one last look around. The gallery, once a place of beauty and admiration, is now a scene of chaos and betrayal, a fitting backdrop for such a spectacle. I walk out into the night, the weight of the briefcase feeling lighter than it has in weeks. As I disappear into the mist, the echoes of her ruined life fade behind me, the chapter closed forever on a love that was built on lies. My revenge is complete, cold and ruthless, leaving nothing but the truth in its wake. Lana and I part ways, the hatred of betrayal a final, severing blow to whatever bonds remained.